humans, it's super important to have relationships, connections, and bonds with other humans. But the biggest key to successful relationships is to first having the best relationship possible with yourself. Now, what does this mean? A lot of people look for someone or an environment or something to fill their cup. They want something external to make them feel whole, to feel like they are loved, needed, nurtured, that they have direction, that they have care. Now, it's all well and good relying on someone else and an environment or an item or object to make you feel fulfilled. But what goes wrong here is that when you are in a time of down and out, when you are in a dark place, generally those things are not there. They're non-existent, or they are unable to actually help you come out of the hole. And the key here is, if you understand your truest identity, your truest self, you know who you are, you know your weaknesses, your strengths, your flaws, what makes you happy, you know how to self-love, care for yourself, actually nurture yourself. You are the only one that has the power to get you out of those dark times. You are the only one that has the power to change, to make decisions, to do anything really in your life. Now, when people really are doing this self-journey kind of exploration, they are ideally looking to understand every bit of their soul, every bit of their character, every bit of their identity. And where people go wrong is they get stuck in this idea that they have to present themselves a certain way to the world. Now, yes, we do at some point have to align with a part of the world or a part of the environment so that we can survive as humans. But at the end of the day, the world is so vast, the environment is so dynamic that you may be sitting in a place that just doesn't align with you. But somewhere across the other side of the world, or somewhere on the other side of the country, there is a place that you fit in. And what I find a lot of people doing is they try and mold to the environment they are in, and they permanently get tainted or permanently get pulled to being this character or being this person where deep down their true instinct, their true identity is not that. And they do this because they feel like they are part of this environment. Now, our environment dictates a lot. It does allow us to fit in. It does allow us to express ourselves a certain way. It does allow us to communicate with people a certain way. But the scary thing is, somewhere on the other side of the world, someone is in a completely different environment, living a completely different life that may actually suit your character, your identity, your being better. So why do we find ourselves getting stuck or trapped in these places? Well, we're born into families, we're born into environments. We don't get to choose that. But as you get older, as you get to explore yourself, you do get a choice to figure out what it is that you love, what it is that you want. This goes with career. This goes with anything. This goes with hobbies. This goes with relationships. This goes with sexual experience, sexuality. This goes with everything. And people find it super hard to understand their truest instincts, their truest identity, because they've been tainted by a world that tells them a way they need to be, a way they need to act. The reality is, if you sit down and strip every layer back, you get to untap every part of your being. Now, some of those real deep core values may have evolved, may have leveled up or elevated over time and transformed into something that you may want. Sometimes our deep identity needs to be shifted, needs to be relit or reignited in a certain way to mold to be a better version of you based off the things and the traits that you want to experience, the things that you want to live and have in your life. That is fine. But it's a matter of understanding what they are and then identifying if they are necessary moving forward, or if they need to be changed, if they need to be grown on, if they need to be removed. And this is the sad reality, is that the world around you tells you the way you need to be. It tells you how you should act, how you should live, what your family should like, what your love life should be like, what your home, your career, what your identity should be. And people lose self. They lose their identity. They lose the ability to understand who they are. So my word of advice, if you are in a relationship or in an environment where these things are making you feel happy, these things are contributing to your joy and your peace, and without them you would feel lost, remove those items for a short period of time. Fill your own cup. Figure out what it is that makes you happy, what it is that makes you connect with yourself. Figure out what it's like to sit with yourself and actually be content in your own peace. Once you work on yourself, once you are completely satisfied with your being. And now, don't get me wrong, this will always elevate and level up and transform over time. But in that moment, once you are at peace with who you are and your truest instincts, your truest identity, then can you add people in, environments in, items in to level that up, to elevate that further, to add, but not to fill your cup. Because if you go in half full and all these things fill your cup, once they're all removed, you're still empty. So the idea here is know how to build yourself, know who you truly are, actually do some soul searching. And there are heaps of ways to do this. Exercise for me is one of the biggest tools. And I'm not talking about just doing a normal pump session. Sometimes it's a matter of burning the questions, killing your soul a little just to figure it out what makes you tick, what actually makes you who you are. There are many other methods, many other ways. If you're interested to kind of explore yourself a little bit further, please reach out. Feel free to reach out on my social media and I'm happy to have a discussion. But understand, you know you best. Be you, the true you.